Hello and welcome to the Tempest and Celtic podcast. This is edition number 43. We're back from our hiatus and with a brand new guest. I take over the reins and host for the day whilst I'm joined by Johnny and a new guy, Paul. We have a wee look back at the weekend's match against Hibs. We'll look at the impact of the strikers, or the lack of, the suitabilities of the midfielders going forward, and we'll look at the enigma that is James Forrest, as well as Darnel Fishers' impressive debut. After that, since we've been missing, we have a wee small summary of the current Celtic Champions League campaign, the highlights, the lowlights, what could have been, what should have been, and just basically what's happened in the past two games. We finalise the pod with a wee look forward to Tuesday's massive match with Ajax. As always, we hope you enjoy this effort and continue down on the other pods. So, catch you in the other side. Well, hello and welcome to the Tempest podcast. It's the 20th of October, it's just past 8 o'clock, and on the line I've got Johnny Forbes.
How you doing, Scotty?
And I've also got a new guest today. We've got Paul O'Donnell.
Good
How
evening,
you doing,
Scott?
Paul?
Not so bad.
Good stuff, mate, good stuff. Right, we'll fire in. Since we've not done it in a wee while, we'll get cracked in and see if we can kind of loosen up and get going. So, this weekend, Celtic travelled over to Edinburgh and we played Hibs. A quite disappointing 1-1 draw, I think. But just start off, what was your overwhelming opinions of the game, Paul?
Well, I thought it was one of the ones where obviously they just couldn't seem to put the ball in the net again. It's something that's also been a problem for a few games now. Obviously, I think the Morton game and the games like that. But over the piece, you can see what Hibs' tactics were right for the start. It was obviously, this lot have got a big game on Tuesday. Let's get tore in, see if they fancy it. The boy Fisher, I mean, he get the 11 daylights kicked at him for the whole game. Obviously, the word was out to him too, but the piece I felt, okay, struggled a bit. Got a good nice goal for Forrest. The piece, I think we should have won the game quite easily. There were a lot of chances, especially in the second half. But the piece, I thought, all right, well, we should have won that one,
Mm-hmm. Johnny, what do you think?
I'm more happy that we managed to keep undefeated in the league. To be honest, I'm quite fancy to do that, stay unbeaten in the league the whole season. So I was happy at least that we didn't get beat. To be honest, that Sky Costa game, because I missed it, and Hearts I fast-forwarded through because it was pish. But it was good to see the boy Fisher playing.
I was gonna come to him. He was on my agenda anyway. But so he's got a start in there. Matthews and Lustig missing. How do you think he done, Johnny?
I thought he done well. For watching him play for under-19s, the only thing that I've been suspect thinking about him is his positioning defensively, and I still think he might get caught out playing there. So I don't know if he'll play. He done himself no harm yesterday, but I don't know if Lennon will throw him in, to be honest. But Lennon spoke highly of him after the game. He's really good going forward. He's really quick. He's really fast, which is what we seem to look for in our fullbacks. He's on the right hand side. That's three really good players we've got there now.
He certainly fits the mould of the fullbacks that Celtic like to employ. Do you see him playing more games this season?
Well, he's a wee bit unlucky. He's got two very good players in front of him, isn't he? They're probably two of the most reliable performers we have. I think he's certainly shown himself as a safe pair of hands at the right back, if you know what I mean. He certainly played well. First half, obviously they were setting about him, as I said earlier. Mm-hmm. And I thought his temperament was good. He didn't seem flustered, or he didn't seem to bite for anything like they might have done. They're probably trying to test that out. He started off just playing, he didn't really get forward much, played the safe ball, but in the second half he was kind of spraying the balls about. I thought there was a few crossfield passes he got himself involved in. He maybe wasn't going as forward as much, but that's probably understandable considering he's wanting to make a good impression. He's wanting to say, show himself in a good light and just take it easy and just feed his way into the game or gently come into the game. So I thought whether he'll fling him in and this just all depends on Lustig, whether he's fit. But whether he flings him in on Tuesday, I don't know. Whether he'll put Effie out there, I don't know, but maybe we'll come to that later. But the piece, he seemed to do okay. I thought he was quite good temperament, seemed to just take it in his stride. and didn't rise to the bait, which they were obviously trying to tempt him with. So, fair play to him. Hope it was a good debut as far as I was concerned.
What showed up well for me was the fact that the more experienced players weren't shy in giving him the ball, so they obviously trusted him because he was seen quite a lot of the ball, especially in the second half, which is good to see.
No, absolutely. It is good to see because I agree with the both of these. I thought he looked very confident. That was something I noticed as well, Johnny, was that you've seen it in the past. There's maybe a reluctance to give him hard boys, to give him boys down the line and stuff. And I felt he coped very well. Again, like Paul says, he was getting some undue pressure, as you would do. There's a young guy just starting again. He's got a kind of strange history, John. Is that not right?
Well, he's English. I don't actually know who he was signed him for. Someone once told me it was for the Jimmy Johnson Academy, but I think that was a lot of rubbish.
Some red team down in Reading or something, wasn't it? But he certainly showed himself in a good light. I mean, he's not even, he's just come out of obviously the pre-season friendlies where he played really well, and obviously they've kept him going since then, and he's got his chance, and I thought he took it. And I've no qualms about putting him in any kind of SPFL, whatever they're calling nowadays, league game, so fair enough,
But last year at the Next Gen games, the games I've seen, he was the only player I really thought that could make a step up. He was the only one that really showed that bit of quality for the guys that were playing.
Aye. I mean, he's up against that Liam Craig, I think he was up against Smitty, and he wasn't giving him a minute, and as I said there, I mean, it's all about temperament. Can he handle it? Can he handle playing for Celtic? Can he handle that position, which is quite a responsible position in modern football, the fullback, and I thought he handled quite well. And good luck to him, and hopefully he'll come on. Hopefully we'll see somebody coming through. Right,
and I will come back to the Hibs game in a second. However, he's put in some young guys in the past. Young guys that we've had high hopes of. Tony Watt being the main guy. The Twarzik come into the centre of the park. However, he doesn't seem to really give a long, extended run. What do you think the reason is for that, Johnny?
I don't know if I agree with you, to be honest. If you trust him, he'll gear him it. He brought Forrest straight in and he's given him a run in the team. No bother at all. I mean, the likes of Marcus Fraser, he's had a bad injury. Tony Watt, I think there's a bit of personality clash between him and Lennon. Fishers found it really hard to get in the team because of Matthews and Lustig. So I just don't know if the opportunity's presented itself.
Well,
Fisher comes in.
To counteract what I'm saying to you then, is a fair dues Marcus Fraser, but Marcus Fraser's no always had these injuries, and he got a goal and we've never seen him since. Twarzik had 4 or 5 games in the bounce, and I know he's another one who's had injuries, however he's not had a sustained run of games. Tony Watt was brought in, drip fed into the team. You're right what you're saying, the attitude thing seems to be a repetitive thing with him. However, guys like Paul George came in, had 1-2 games. Dylan McGeoch's never kicked on for being that great promise. I don't think Neil Lennon's really. I don't know if there's no trust for him. Never mind the players.
I don't know. A lot of these guys have had genuinely bad injuries. I mean, McGeoch never recovered for breaking his jaw in Madrid. Mm-hmm. He looked game in that match against them, and since he came back, he's not looked like the same player at all. So I don't know if it's just circumstances have made it that way.
It's just a strange one, McGeoch. I mean, doesn't seem to get. I mean, when I've sat, sometimes I've seen him when he's. I think there was one particular game where he was coming back and he obviously shoved a sub on and he's walking in front of me where I sat in the main stand and he's looking up to the main stand with he's shrugging his shoulders as if he was expecting to get a game. And kind of staring up at the obviously some relatives maybe he's got sitting in the main stand. And you wonder what he's thought. I could have looked at him and said, I wonder what he's thinking. He's obviously been maybe thought I'm going to get a game here, and all of a sudden they've put the 3 subs on and that's him not going again. And he was going through my head and I was thinking who they were going to play right back. I'm saying, well, they played him there before. Whether they'd shove him in again in a league game, I don't know, but he just didn't seem to get picked. He doesn't seem to get. If there's any kind of doubt or Forrest or Samaras or anybody else that maybe plays in the wide area, he doesn't seem to get the nod. So I suppose Lennon lives and dies with his results, so he wants to get the best player in as he can. And obviously some of these young guys he just doesn't rate. I think that's what it is.
Well, the thing is, we're sitting talking about he's putting a wee bit of, maybe no pressure, he's putting a wee bit of trust into Darnel Fisher. Darnel Fisher's 19
Aye.
and Dylan McGee is 20. I mean,
And they're still young
I
boys.
think we oft-time forget the age of Dylan McGee. However, I mean, the boy Chalmers was on the edges of the squad. He had, as I say, he had the Twarziks. There was a game last year, and he put in all the boys. He put all the boys in, and then see after that, as if he never trusted them again. And I don't know. I think maybe he's going to take more risks in the Premier League.
Looking at it now, looking at the squad. I mean, they're kind of it's getting a bit threadbare now. These. So, I mean, if you go into the list of players that you see on the website, there's 25 of them, and 2 of them are away in loan, Bangura and Watt. And you look at the rest of them. I mean, there's 7 or 8 of them kind of injured or just coming back, if you include Ledley. And we're doing like 4 defenders. I think we're doing Ambrose, Gary, Van Dijk, and Mulgrew as recognised first-team defenders. That's if Lustig doesn't come back. So he's got to trust some of these guys. And it was good to see him, rather than shoehorn somebody into right back like Ambrose, maybe that and shove Mulgrew back centre half. He's said, right, okay, I'm going to take a chance on the young boys. So maybe it needs must.
The kind of ironic thing is a load of these young guys have made a name for themselves in European football. Tony Watt being a prime example again. However, if you look back to do you remember when we played against Rapid Vienna? And they put all the young boys in, and fair dues, they were 3-0 down, but they still come back for 3. Well, let's get back on track. So we'll go back to the Hibs game, and I'm going to come back to something you said, Paul. And I may miss it yourself. Lack of goals.
Aye.
Is it a striker problem, or is it we're no loading the cannons, for want of better words?
Well, one thing, nobody seems to be in the box. I don't know what you think yourselves, but I'm watching Pookie. Pookie seems to, he's awfully narrow, and he plays like the width of it's almost like the width of the penalty box D. He doesn't get wide, and then sometimes when the ball is wide, he doesn't get into the box. He kind of hangs off, and you've got Samaras floating about round one side, you've got Stokes the other side, and there's a few crosses coming in when the crosses do come in, because that's another problem I think we've got. We're not always the best at delivering the ball in. Especially I noticed that on Saturday. Forrest was. That's something I'm sure he'll come on. He's still a young boy, but one thing that's missing out his game is maybe delivery. He's direct and get by folk, but he needs to cross the ball in. But I'm just worried if he does cross the ball in, with actually anybody there. And I think that's a problem. We've not got that poacher, as has been said in the past. We all know. Certainly Pookie wasn't brought in to replace Hooper. But looking at what I see, you just don't. I mean, we did get chances. We missed some chances. I don't know what you think yourself, but we did seem to get chances, or fought the rank person. They fought the rank persons. The one thing I noticed was kind of, there's some players in the team that are awfully one-fitted, and the chance is gone when you try to change it to another fit. I've noticed that quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the piece. I think we just seem to struggle to get 2, 3, 4, 5 goals. Morton springs to mind, 27 corners. I'm sure they're working on it, but I don't think Pookie's your answer. He's not going to score the goals. Hooper's going to score, and Stokes seems to drift wide. Samaras drifts wide, so you wonder who's going to get into the box and actually score a goal.
Johnny, so we'll come to you, Johnny, with that. So do you think it may be because you've lost Hooper? I mean, everybody totally realises that Hooper is a penalty box striker. I think he proved that with us. You can see the fact that he's no getting a shift every week for Norwich, because they need that guy to hold the ball up a wee bit more. Do you think it's the fact that we've took the natural goal scorer out of the team, that we've changed the system, maybe? What do you think of that?
I don't know if we've changed the system. I think he's played the system. I mean, Hooper was obviously on the last man shooter all the time. We don't have a player like that. With Stokes is like that. He's out wide. He crosses the ball in, and very often there's nobody there.
But surely the manager's got to be addressing that, because that's been a complaint of Anthony Stokes for a long, long time at Celtic.
Well, to me, it's a glaringly obvious it's missing, because Pookie, to me, I can see Pookie comes short. He doesn't run away for the players. He comes short for the ball, twists, turns. He'd be ideal. I mean, if we'd have somebody like Hooper playing off him, he could drop back a bit deep. Pookie would be ideal to deliver the ball through. We just don't have that guy. Unfortunately, Tony Watt doesn't. Tony Watt to me would have been the ideal candidate, but obviously there's problems with him. But we just don't seem to have that guy or that player that plays in that position. Everybody else seems to want to drift wide. I'm sure Stokes could play it, but as you say, maybe the manager's deciding to play another way. Maybe he's deciding to bring in, come from wide areas, cut in, cross balls in the back post, that type of thing. I don't know, but maybe he's just trying to fit the system, to fit the players he's got.
Yeah. Well, look,
I think that's what it is.
I'll fling on to you, Johnny. So, Paul said to us there, he doesn't see. You'd be a big fan of Forrest. So Forrest isn't your typical winger. He's not get by the guy, whip it in. Is that basically because of the strikers?
Well, I think by and large we're playing the same system, but we're virtually playing without an out-and-out goal scorer. We've not got a guy in the box. You've got Stokes, Pookie, Commons, Samaras to an extent. They all interchange. It's like what do you get? Chelsea don't play with a recognised striker half the time. Barcelona don't do it. We try to do that, but we've not got as good players as these teams. So there's not a guy in the box enough.
Pookie's like the hub of the wheel. Sorry, John.
We play. We were attacking wing backs, full backs, and try and get the ball in. 9 times out of 10, Hooper was there, and now nobody's there to get these balls. I mean, Pookie got the ball crossed into him yesterday, and instead of just smashing it in, he took a touch. The boy doesn't look confident. He looks shy and a bit naive, and he just doesn't look as though he's got much confidence. Hopefully he'll get that as he gets to know everybody.
The thing that we kind of noticed, John, in recent games when Pookie's come off the bench and stuff like that, his awareness doesn't seem to be great, does it?
That's what we're talking about the game. He kind of looks as though he's in a bit of a dreamland, fox in the headlights type thing. But again, I'm hoping that's down to him kind of finding his feet.
Definitely.
You can't tell. I mean, we've definitely been sold a donkey with Big Baldy. And Forrest, the chance Forrest had in the last couple of minutes yesterday, Hooper at least, Stokes, sorry, at least tried to follow it in. But when you watch him on the replays, you could see Big Baldy just on there looking clay kit, just watching. No reacting at all to try and get the loose ball.
I think we've spoke about Baldy a couple of times already this season in the little pods that we've done, so we'll not go over old ground there. But let's talk about Forrest. Like, Forrest is a frustration to Celtic fans, and Neil Lennon obviously came out after the Carragandi game and kind of criticised a few. There's no getting a bullshit here. He is a frustrating wee player. However, he has got that in the locker. What are you thinking, Paul?
Well, I remember the Carragandi. I mean, the guy Forrest was getting dogs abuse all around me. He was. I think.
You sit in the main stand, by the way.
I know. It's absolutely awful, man. Don't do it, honestly. Anyway, he was getting. Around about me, he was getting a bit of abuse, and he's crossing. I think they played Matthews in the Carragandi game, so he was kind of. I don't know whether he was a wee bit more central. He was getting a hell of a lot more shots in. He was kind of shooting for the middle of the pitch rather than coming out for the wide areas. I think Matthews was playing that game, and he and Lustig as well. So he was a wee bit inside one. I think he was kind of like. Don't know whether it was. I'm not a great tactician, but maybe yourselves, but I certainly think. I think to me, Forrest, he's still a young boy. I think give him a couple of years, more experience, and he'll be a good one. I just hope he's with us when he comes good, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. But I think give him a couple of years. His crossing will get better. You show him inside, he can score as well. So he's got that. He's got everything I think he needs, because he can go outside you and hurt like defender. He can come inside and shoot with his left foot. He's one of the 2 fitted players we've got. So he's got a genuine threat. I just think he needs to work on his crossing. I'm sure that'll come, and he'll going to be one of, obviously, I'm sure he'll be one of our better players. But I certainly think in the next few weeks we'll see a lot more of him, with the situation with injuries and what have you. But I think he'll come on to, next couple of weeks. I'm sure he'll come on to a game.
Johnny, the thing that kind of frustrated me about James Forrest, and I've said that a few times to you, is I don't feel we use him in one position. Sometimes we want them as supporters. We want wingers to get by the full back, and as Paul says, wallop that ball into box for the striker. However, he oft-time brings it in, and he's more a right mid, even sometimes playing behind the strikers and stuff. Do you think that's kind of how we're seeing a inconsistency for him?
Well, you know what? See the way, like I've noticed that he doesn't. That recently he hasn't been taking on the guys as much as he was, but that you can get back to McGeek on that as well, because McGeek used to try and do stuff and beat players, but he was always coming back and playing the ball inside as well. So I don't know if it's down to kind of the system that we're playing in that respect, but it is frustrating. But maybe Forrest, he had been playing with, he was playing, he wasn't fully fit. He had back problems and things like that. So maybe now we'll see him getting let off the leash a bit more. Maybe Lennon was telling him, don't take the guy on because you're not going to do anything decent with it. So just tuck back in, keep the ball, retain possession. So hopefully he's going to just kick on now and we'll see him running past defenders because he's bloody capable of doing it every week. If Andros Townsend had scored that goal yesterday, it would go on Sky Sports News every bloody 5 minutes.
That was a cracking goal.
Yeah, 100% right. The thing I was thinking, and again, I'm just flinging this out for you to bat away or say there's any credence to it. When you've got a guy like Chris Commons, who is our deadliest player, because his ability to shoot from distance, do you think there's maybe a bring it in and look for Commons? Feel about the squad, never mind just him? Johnny?
I don't know, that's not something I've really considered, to be honest, but Commons does have the seniority, he is seen as a danger man, so maybe that's part of the game plan, get the ball to Commons, he can try and thread the ball, have a dig, so there might be something to that. I'd like to think there isn't, but it rings true a wee bit, if you think about it.
Well,
Commons is obviously, sorry.
Carry on, mate.
Commons is obviously one of our better players without a doubt, and getting the ball to him maybe attracts the defenders away from other folk. I mean, he can come in, he's pretty good at getting fouls, I know, I've noticed. And he just touch, turn, bang.
Sticks his big bum out, doesn't he?
Aye, bang. It's the best man we've seen since Chris Sutton. And he can just stick his ass out and somebody butters into the back of him. And he's good at that as well, so kind of players maybe shy off him, defenders hang off him. And he's genuine, he can go either way, both feet, you don't know where he's going to go, so it's no surprising. The way he plays as well, obviously a key part of the team. So where he plays as well is obviously a key part of that too. But I reckon maybe something in that, give the ball to the, it's like when I was a kid when my Grant used to give the ball to McStay all the time. It was like, just give the ball to McStay, maybe the same thing. Obviously, we're not as good as him, but
I think James Forrest of the service.
Yeah, I might be right. You might be right.
Aye.
But, could be.
Aye, so we've touched on Commons there. It's a massive blow. I think it's is he touch and go or is he out?
I'd say he's out.
So it looks like he's going to be out. Right, so something else. We'll finish off Hibs, but I just want to talk about the performance of Kayal. We've certainly missed Victor Wanyama covering that defence, and we've missed his other assets. However, Kayal hyped himself up to be the man. Now that Scott Brown's going to be missing Tuesday night's game, I didn't think Kayal was particularly poor at the weekend. However, a senior player like him, he's really got to be doing more, don't you think, Paul?
I mean, it's one of the games where he didn't really notice him. He didn't really stand out. He put in a few good. I think we got a few good digs. I think he had a couple of shots. I think he was getting in a bit in the middle of the pitch, but I don't know what we're expecting from him. I remember when he was in his first season, he was all out of the pitch, every blade of grass. Maybe he's been told to calm it down a little bit, but he's certainly got a chance now. So I don't know whether he'll play Tuesday. I don't know what depends. I think it maybe depends on Lustig, but I thought he'd done all right against Hibs. I mean, certainly he moved the ball and he seemed quite tidy, but I think we need to see something from coming for him, if you know what I mean. I think he needs something a little bit more from him. I don't know whether that'd be tackling or getting forward, because I always remember in his first season he was pretty good at getting forward, getting a shot in, so maybe of that. And I think I don't know what's going to see, because it's no attitude, isn't it? I don't know what his attitude's like, so he seemed to be up for it. So hopefully the next few weeks he'll come good.
Aye. you think
he's had a couple of digs this season? Because towards the last season, he wasn't getting into shooting positions at all. He's had a couple of digs this season. I think the guy, if there's a loose ball for a tackle, before he got injured the first time, he would get right through it. Now he's more likely to bloody fall out and look for a foul. He does that all the time. Really annoying. Don't know what the hell's wrong with him. He's a frustrating player, Kyle.
He is a very frustrating player. So do you think now he deserves his wee go in the team? Because he done a lot of talking himself, something that over the years has irritated us as Celtic fans. However, does he deserve his go? I mean, ultimately he's going to get his go because, going back to what Paul says, we have got a big spate of injuries. I mean, where's the Israeli boy? Was he on the bench?
He was an unused sub, boy.
Unused sub. So we've spoken about it in past, Johnny, is that we feel you've got to bring these guys in and let them kind of get used to the club before flinging them in to be mauled by the support. You know what I mean? So we've got Kayal there. Does he deserve his go? Does he deserve his chance? Like a good long run in the team?
Well, I see there's only, the way the team lines up now, there's only two positions he could play in, and that's either Brown or Mulgrew. And you look at it and say, right, if the two of them are fit, we see me play we see me play like a 4-2-4 or some sort of 4-2-3-1. And to me, Kayal's only going to play in those only going to get a game in either Mulgrew or Brown's position. Now, I don't see him dropping Brown, and obviously Mulgrew seems to be the golden child, doesn't he? So they're not going to drop him. So to me, he's only going to get a chance if somebody's injured or suspended. And yet, if somebody does get suspended, he's got Ledley there in front of him too. Mm-hmm. So, I think he'll be doing. To me, it's like there's four players fighting for two positions there, and to me, he's fourth at the moment. Certainly, if Ledley gets fit, I can see Ledley, Mulgrew, and Brown being chosen before he gets chosen at the moment. But he's got the jersey of the new, so if he gets another chance, it's up to him to grab it, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll finish off with just talking about the Hibs goal. We've already said the Forest goals, wonder-strike, stuff like that, but Celtic went 1-0 down. I think it was Heffernan scored. It looked like it was offside. I have to say I thought that was a disgusting for them not to give that, because it was miles offside. However, a bit of confusion in the midfield. Did you think the goalkeeper could have done better, Johnny?
Nah, I think the guy Heffernan's a decent finisher. Foster's kind of tried to make himself big, and the guy stuck it between his legs, and he even nearly got it. He's got to spread himself, so the one place goalkeepers are vulnerable is through their legs, and he even nearly got it deflected enough. You see him being dead angry that the guy had managed to do it, but I don't think you can blame the keeper, to be honest. Just a goal that shouldn't have counted because the guy was blatantly offside.
The reason I say it is that at the game, we obviously never knew it was offside, but the goalkeeper was very, very, very slow off his line. And we certainly, the finger was pointed at him. I just wondered what you thought you'd watched it.
You had to have a point. He is slow coming off his line. That's the one area of his game that would be shown up in England if he moved back down there, is that he won't come off his line quick enough. So in that respect, maybe you've got a point yesterday, but Heffernan, he doesn't look much of a player. He's no fast, he's no strong, but he's quite a clever finisher. He's always scored goals, that guy. I
think with a Celtic goalkeeper, you're always, maybe that's one thing you'll learn, but a Celtic goalkeeper, maybe it's just his attentions. I don't know whether he's just not on his toes, or whether he doesn't sense something happening, because there's that often he's standing about doing nothing. You wonder whether, in a more competitive league, he'd be on his toes a wee bit more. Maybe that's got something to do with it.
Just his concentration.
His concentration might be waning a little bit when the boy comes right through the middle of him, right through the middle of the goal, through the middle of the pitch, sorry, and he's maybe not expecting it. And that's something that Celtic goalkeepers have been, guilty of for a long time. Sometimes you maybe know a wee bit kind of, aware of what's going on at the moment in time. Danger could just come through and I'm not expecting it.
Did Boric even run out off his line quickly? Have you ever had a goalie that's done that?
Certainly no Blackie or Gordon.
No.
So there you go, maybe Paul's got a point there.
Nah, right. So we'll wrap it up there. I think we covered all the bases. As we've not done a pod in a good wee while, I think it would be good that in part two we'll just have a wee look at the Champions League as past this season. I don't think we've done much about it. We've had 2 games, so obviously 2 defeats, massive game on Tuesday. So we'll have a wee look back at the last 2 games and performances and some of the decisions, and then we'll finish after the pod. We'll have a wee gander at Ajax. Welcome back to part 2. As I said before, we're just going to have a wee look back at the last 2 games. So we're coming up to game 3. We're coming up to our second home game against Ajax. We first played against AC Milan and on the end of a 2-0 defeat, and then the last game we played with the 1-0 defeat at home against Barcelona. Johnny, just summarise how you think it's going just now. We're in a hard group. We all know we're in a hard group. We're up against some of the best known names in the world. So are we where we should be? Have we been? Are we in our place, or should we be doing better?
With a bit more quality and a bit more professionalism, we could have at least 2 points up on the board. In Milan, we were talking about the striker situation earlier. I thought we would have won in Milan if we had a Hooper style player playing. If Brown didn't get sent off, I think we would have got a draw against Barcelona. I thought defensively we were doing really, really well against Barcelona. I don't think we would have conceded, but I think the bit extra pressure when the 10 men go to us. So I think we should be on 2 points at least after 2 games, and it's a bit annoying because that makes this double header with Ajax that bit more important for our reputation. If we don't get any points for these 2 games, then it's looking bad to get any points in the board, really.
Paul, you can cover most of that. Would you think 2 points would be right for us, or do you think more?
I don't think it was beyond us, 2 points. I mean, I agree with what John says. One thing we've seen to come on in, when we look to where we came from, that Europa run a few years ago, and we seem to be on our feet after the Sion debacle. Where we've come on, we do look quite solid as a unit. They seem a lot more experienced at the back. They seem calm, they seem well drilled, they seem to know what they're doing, defensively. To me, it just seems it's a next step in it. We're unlucky in Milan, another sob story towards the end of the game. Barca, as John said, I'm sure we'd have got a draw in that game if Brown didn't get sent off. We never know, we might even have sneaked one. We almost did. So, the other 2 games, what you take from it, I think, is firstly that defensively, we're not getting gubbed, and we've played 2 decent teams there, and we never get anywhere near humiliated or anything like that, as some folk might have expected, or wouldn't have been surprised if we did have. We get beat 2 or 3 or 3 or 4, whatever. So that way, that I'm heartened by. However, going forward, obviously we're a little bit, as John says, we're missing that. I'm thinking of Hooper's goals in Spartak against Spartak Moscow. A goal like that, we just don't. Crying out for a player like that against Milan, a sniffer. Someone who could have just put one of those chances we got in the net. So out of the piece, I think out of the 2 games, we've not been disgraced. We seem to be quite competent defensively. We seem to be well drilled and looked organised. But we just need to see if we can take it one step further now. And we've got Ajax. You're certainly not beyond us to beat them, and see if we can go for them and try and get some points in the next couple of games. 4 points for me in the next 2 games wouldn't be a disaster. 3 points wouldn't even be a disaster. Considering that we've got Milan at home, and that's a big game. If we can get something for the next 2 games, I'm sure we could get at least third in the group.
Mm-hmm. Well, going for last season, although we've set a couple of bodies, we've brought a new couple of guys in. Frustratingly, I think for us, Van Dijk seems to be the only guy. Well, he is the only guy who's a definite starter, which is frustrating, as I say, because we always want new players. However, do you think Johnny, that Van Dijk is more composed and he's more settled than Wilson was last year? Do you think that's fair? Because I've got to say, I thought in Milan, the 2 goals we gave away, one was a deflection, one was just poor. Although the goalie maybe questionable. However, we looked more comfortable. We looked more comfortable at the back of the ball. Do you agree with that?
Oh, he's got a fit my brain for starters. I think Kelvin Wilson was more of an athlete than anything. His pace made up for him making mistakes and getting caught out of position. I think Van Dijk's got a really good football brain on him, which is reflecting how good a partnership he's built up with Ambrose. I mean, look at Ambrose as well. They look as though they're loving playing each other. They high five each other and all that kind of thing when they stop attacks. It's really good to see.
Aye, definitely. Aye, that's exactly how I see. Because you think we'd kind of wrote off, well, not we as in the general Celtic support had wrote off Ambrose as just being a total dumpling, which I thought at the time I thought was unfair after the Juventus games. As we move into midfield against Milan, I think we surprised ourselves by how much. Oh, maybe Milan surprised us by how much of the ball we had. Should we have, right, even with the players we've got, should we have done better that night, Paul?
Aye. Well, we certainly had the opportunity. They were obviously missing a few players, especially, I think there's some of their midfielders were out, weren't they? And we certainly had the chances. And as we said before, I mean, somebody with a bit of, I'm thinking somebody, just a bit of luck, bit of calmness, bit of composure in front of goal, we could have nicked something. And if we'd have scored first there, I'm sure we'd have went on to go to win, to be honest with you. Thinking back in the game. I mean, if we'd have put the ball in the net, Stokes' free kick, don't in, or Brown or Manchester that shot away before that De Jong guy came in, whatever his name was, I'm sure we could have got something. Just a bit frustrating. But hopefully, to me, the whole European thing in the last few years, I keep going back to that, but there's been a progression, you can see it. The last couple of years, we've just seen it come on and grown and grown and grown. And hopefully, when the games come up against Ajax, we'll have learned for last year, learned for the 2 games this year, learned for Karagandhi, and we'll put a performance in on Tuesday. And to be honest, I think we will.
Does it not kind of go against last season? Gary Hooper was quite used sparingly in these games, albeit he did play against Juventus, but against Juventus I don't think he got much of the ball. He never played in the famous one against Barcelona. So is it not kind of ironic or maybe contradictory to say that we're missing this type of striker when we don't really use that well in our best performance at Barcelona? Should we not actually be getting better with it?
It could be, but as we talked about earlier, we have changed the way we're playing. Those 4-3-4 players all seem to interchange. We don't have somebody who's in the box at all really anymore. I don't know if you can use the Juve game as a reference point because they just destroyed us in both games. To be honest, we never.
I think it's a fair thing to say because Gary Hooper never saw much of the ball that night, and he was your main striker. And then if you cross-reference that to the Barcelona game where you had Miku and Samaras and stuff like that, where we never had that main out ball, we had guys dropping deep. So this season, by logic, we should be a wee bit more comfortable.
We're more comfortable all over the park, apart from up front this season in Europe. That's where it's changed. It's kind of went from being good, maybe good forward, a weak defence to swapping over. So that is different. I don't know if that's by design or by chance that it's went that way. But I think where we need to improve is in attacking sense. I think we're looking really good in defence in European terms.
The frustrating thing is, do you think that the big boy ahead of Venom would have been the answer?
Well, it's strange because a lot of other teams come in to buy him. I mean, there was a whole story with Cardiff, but I think that was just to try and smoke us out. Was it? Do you think?
I'd agree with you.
He scored again last night. He didn't get beat last night, but he's still winning 2-0 and he scored the first goal. So he is scoring goals all the time and he seems to be a striker that will win penalty area, and we just wouldn't pay what they wanted. Some of them were right not to do it, but it's not looking that way considering the money they've spent on Pookie, Baldy, and Boric we could have got from boxing.
Mm-hmm. Aye, so we'll come to the Barcelona game. We kind of looked at the Milan game there. We've got to give our opinions on the big debate of the night. Scott Brown, clown or harshly treated? What do you think, John?
Well, I get home that night. At the game, I could see him kicking it for where we were sitting. Thought it was stonewall red card. I get home and I watched the replay. I was like, geez, that's not a red card. Then I got up in the morning, I watched it over and over again. And from the ref's point of view, he looks as though he's had quite a big kick out of him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's ridiculous. Even just to have a wee flick like that, it's utterly ridiculous. You get away with it against Carragandi. You could blame him for the second goal at Milan by getting involved with Balotelli. Balotelli's done him up like a kipper there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't believe he's fell for it. So it's been coming for years in Europe with Scott Brown, and it's disappointing that he even had that wee flick. Neymar made an absolute melee of it, but of course he's going to do it. That's what these guys do.
Yep, I agree wholeheartedly. I agree wholeheartedly with everything you said there. Paul, you flinging a different opinion in?
Well, only so much. I mean, I don't. It's kind of suggests when he kicks out at him, he thinks that Neymar might be at him. He was the one that sized him down for the back. So I don't understand why he was kind of getting a bit short-tempered with Neymar. Maybe it was something previous or something like that. But I never seen it at the time. I didn't see him kick out. But referees in Europe they're going to get a red card every day of the week for something like that. They're under that much scrutiny, and kicking out like that, it's intent. They'll say, okay, he didn't kick him, but he meant to, he tried to, and that's what done him. And I mean, Carragandi as well. I remember when Forrest scored the third goal, I completely missed Neil Lennon running down the touchline because Brown was having a fight, having a fight with the goalkeeper. So he's certainly gets involved with that way in the Champions League, but hopefully he's learnt his lesson. He can maybe calm down a bit because he certainly reined it in the league. He doesn't seem to get involved as much in the league as he used to, and maybe he's getting a wee bit excited. He does strike you as that, kind of.
That's kind of the ironic thing, though, isn't it? That's the ironic thing that we've actually been celebrating the fact that he's calmed it down. Yet Johnny just won his 3 games there. I mean, the Carragandi one was pathetic, stunned on the guy. There was no need for it. I'm not into that at all. He just stood on the guy. And then I would say to him, he's been a clown against AC Milan. That's my personal opinion. I think Balotelli gave him a dunt. Anybody else would have flung himself. Oh, certainly Balotelli would fling himself, and he gives it back. And the next thing you've got a free kick for nothing. But we'll see. I still think the 3 matches is to give him 3 matches after that. I think that's pathetic. And as much as I do like Barcelona, and I make no apologies for that, you do kind of get the UEFA's team motto thing with that, don't you think?
Aye. I mean, goes in the referee's report, violent conduct. It probably comes out, violent conduct, 3-match ban, and then hopefully they'll have a look at it and cut it down to 2 or something like that. It's just come out the box. It's just automatic thing, isn't it? Violent conduct, 3 matches, especially if you're playing against, they're playing against Barcelona. Obviously, doesn't help, does it?
No, I know. Okay, so that's fair dues. So we've caught up to date. So we'll look at the Ajax game in part 3. We'll have just your thoughts on where we're going to need to tighten up, where we're hoping to get that wee bit of luck, and hopefully the cycles will turn up for us. So welcome back to part 3. So we're going to finish off the pod by having a wee discussion about the massive game on Tuesday. I think Paul's already touched on it, and I think any Tim listening to this knows we've got to take something. We have to take something for this game. I think 3 points is a big ask for us, to be perfectly honest. I don't think Ajax are as bad as some are making out. I mean, I'm led to believe we've got this in the bag and we're going to take a point away from him. So, Johnny, What's your initial thoughts? Give me your initial thoughts on what you've seen of Ajax this season.
Well, what I've seen of them is absolutely zilch.
So
Apart from the goals for the other games.
Right, very good.
For what I've read about them, I think they're more likely to be up for a scrap the way we might be in Europe. And I think that makes for a more dangerous game in a different respect, because we're not expected to get results against Milan and Barca, but we're against Ajax. So I think that could work in their favour. We're best being underdogs in Europe to a large extent.
But aren't we underdogs anyway? I mean, we're fourth seed.
Aye, but not so much as Ajax. Against Ajax as the other two. I mean, Ajax have sold a lot of players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think they're sitting 5th or 6th in the league. Granted, there's 3 points between 1st and 10th place or something in the Dutch league now. But they've only won 5 of their first 10 league games. They've no won away from home in the league this season.
Aye.
So it makes it more an even game.
Carry on,
I think
Paul.
I think we've got quality to hurt them, but they've got quality to hurt us.
Aye, definitely. I mean, what I've picked up, I know the last couple of years I've finished third in their group. Year before that, I think they didn't qualify out their group. I know they had a tough group as well. I think last year they had Dortmund and Madrid. So I don't think they're going to be too intimidated with the crowd and what have you. But they have lost. They don't seem to have a goal scorer they used to have. They don't seem to have, like a one. I think that Bojan's out. I think he'd done his hamstring or something. What I've seen in the last game. I don't know whether he's playing or not. They don't seem to have an out-and-out goal. They're a wee bit like us. They don't seem to have like a goal, a one-man goal threat or something like that. I know they've got that Icelandic boy up front, I think. They don't. But what I've read of them, they seem to be they don't seem to be as good as they were last year. They seem to have lost quite. As Ajax do, they lose players and get new ones in. So they're maybe not firing all cylinders. So it might be a good time for us to get them. If we can get, a decent team out, if Lustig's fit, I mean, I think we've got a decent team to put against them. If you put McGrew and Ledley in, and then the front four that played against Hibs, we could, big crowd. You never know. We could. I think we could turn it on a little bit and maybe get a couple of goals in this game. Whether we stop them getting in, I don't know. But I think we've got a genuine chance of getting 4 points out of this 6. Whether we do or no, I don't know. But I think we've got a chance. I could go either way, but I think we've got a chance. I don't think we've got any fear. Put it that way.
Well, that's basically what we've got to hope for, innit? They were in it to win it. I don't think we've got any to lose. Once the group came out, it was exciting. It wouldn't have been. It's not a great. We spoke about it. It's not a great one for the travellers in it, but it's exciting. You've got 3 of the biggest clubs in the world there. As you said, they have sold a hell of a load of players. Does it not worry you, John? Though, as Paul says, that this is Ajax and that's their thing. I mean, it's undoubtedly we've sent our best players and we're weaker for it in their positions. Oh, you always think that Ajax have got another 2 bodies coming in ready to play.
But they've not exactly set the head on a light in Europe, have they? The last 10, 15 years since they had that golden era with Clivert and all that. Ever since then, they've been up and down. And they have sold 2 or 3 of their better players just past in the summer, I think. So they're no setting the head on a light. So it's up for grabs. It just depends if we hit top form, I think we'll win. But you never know. They've got this young boy Fisher, the top
Danish
scorer for year 1 in the next gen. I think he plays in the left wing. And I think somebody was telling me today that Stevie Woods went to watch Ajax 2 weeks ago and he came back raving about the guy who was playing left wing. I didn't hear a name, but I was looking up Fisher earlier and he plays in the left wing. So he's playing left wing and we're struggling for a right back. Or we might have to fling in a young boy playing right back against potentially who is now Ajax's main danger. So that's the bit of the worry for me for the game.
I mean, I've seen a kind of one of these surveys where they got like the top 40 young players in Europe, and he was mentioning that Victor Fisher, another boy they've got, a midfielder.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Is it Davy Klaassen or something? Right. He's supposed to be a good player too. He's a Dutch boy, and so they've definitely got the youth coming through. They're definitely well coated youth wise. just hopefully it's a little bit too early for them.
Exactly.
Maybe, I don't mean the team I see us putting out should give them problems. I
So
don't
who's
see
going
why
to
we
play
can't.
Kayal or Ledley?
I think he'll play Ledley.
So this before we jump onto that.
Sorry,
So obviously, big Victor's going to take his place in nets. There's no doubt about that. Touch wood. So defence wise, we're relying on Lustig turning up. Right, this is the big thing. Lustig's the big question mark. So what's the skip with Izagiri? Is Izagiri injured? He wasn't playing the weekend.
They must have been playing away
Honduras
somewhere
or
far
something.
away behind Honduras.
Right, so he's coming back. So tell me your defence, Paul.
Well, Foster, Lustig, if he hopefully will play Van Dijk, Ambrose. I don't think you can separate them. And is he?
Right, so Lustig doesn't make it. Are you going for?
Well, there you go. What did he say? Does he separate his defence? Does he put Ambrose right back, put Mulgrew back at centre half, and then bring in Kayal and Ledley? I don't know. Mulgrew's playing really well now. I mean, I saw him for Scotland during the week, and he was absolutely outstanding. Oh, that was a left back, right enough. But and the performances he's putting in for Celtic lately are you can't. You just hope he can keep him in the middle of the pitch. But if he has to drop back to centre half, well, he's done there before. And even then, I think we can still give them a game. If we've got Ambrose out wide and Mulgrew centre half with Van Dijk, is he? And we bring in Ledley and Kyle into the middle.
Mulgrew is in a rich vein of form now, it has to be said. He's absolutely flying.
Without a doubt, yeah. Without a doubt. So, what was your midfield again there, Paul?
Midfield, the midfield two, I've got, hopefully if Lustig's playing, Mulgrew and Ledley. And then the front four, just Pookie, Stokes, Forrest and Samaras.
It's attack-minded, does it know?
Well, I know. Well, what they done with Barca and Milan was they put Matthews in wide right, didn't they?
Yeah.
Gave him a cell a bit. They could kind of firm it up a little bit. But maybe obviously, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but I don't know who else he could put in. And no, unless they bring in Brighton and bring in make big three in the middle. Play the three up front.
It would be a big decision to bring him in, wouldn't it?
Aye.
It would be a big decision.
You're struggling as to who, if Lustig doesn't make it, you're struggling to think who they would put in.
Yeah.
In that middle of that pitch. So I don't know if they bring Rogic in. Apart from that,
God, no, don't bring Rogic in. Jeez,
You get your turn, John. Just calm yourself down.
When he brings Rogic in, I know it might be a bit early for that too. So apart from that, you're struggling unless you get into the boys. So I think they'll patch up Lustig. Patch him up, fire out Mulgrew and Ledley in the middle, and then I think he'll go for it. I think he'll play the front four.
4-2-4. Hey, Johnny. So any changes in there?
If Lustig's fit, doesn't make it, I'd put the boy Fisher in. Risky, but I think he looks as though he's got the right temperament for it.
Aye. And, well, another thing you could do, I never thought of that. You're right, John. If they could put Ambrose in right and put Fisher in front, Ambrose.
Well, they could do that, aye. Yeah, but I don't know why.
Matthews.
I wouldn't want to separate Ambrose and Van Dijk at this stage either.
No.
I think he'll go with Mulgrew, Kaya and Ledley in the middle, the Forrest on the right, Samaras on the left, and Pookie or Stokes will miss it.
Aye, and I think it's more likely Pookie.
Right. He's kind of like Stokes, isn't he? And Stokes has scored more goals now so far.
That's it,
Stokes is good form.
There seems to be there's an acceptance at what level of player Stokes is now, I think, by the Celtic support, and the European game seems to be a level above him. I don't know if I'm 100% sold on that, but I can certainly, the difference I would say, Paul, is I think Kayal's starting. Right. I think Kayal's starting. But I mean, Joe Ledley's got to come in, so you've got three strong midfielders in there without really any. Technical's not the right term in it, but you know what I mean. And we've got to play our strengths. But the thing is, we don't have that big man anymore, do we? We don't have the big like the Wanyama for Mulgrew to be hitting. Aye, so So
But maybe Ajax at home is the chance to play the attacking way that goes against Lennon's ethos in Europe.
It definitely does. Yeah.
Well, if they put three in the middle, Mulgrew, Ledley, Kayal. I don't know. Maybe they'll take Stoke. They might even play like drop Forrest out and put Pookie, because I think Pookie will play. I think he'll play.
But this is what we bought him for, wasn't it?
Well, exactly. That's what I was. I reckon. And to me, maybe that kind of environment will suit him. It's an environment he's used to. Can't be a bad player. I mean, he's played at a decent level.
Mm-hmm.
So if they feed it into his feet, you've got Stokes and Samaras. Because to me, he's off feet. He's all kind of come short. He doesn't take a long ball. He kind of comes short, turns, feeds somebody in. So to me, if you have Stokes and Samaras running off him, then that might be the way forward. If they put three across, and obviously you can get Ledley on forward and all. And Kyle and Mulgrew could hold it up, so they could turn it into a 4-2-4 with Ledley.
Yeah,
I suppose.
Well, it's these nights that we expect Big Samaras to turn up for us, so I dare say the big man's going to be a main player and on the ball as much as possible. The thing I would say, going back to I asked you earlier on, Johnny, about Ajax, was I watched them against Barcelona and they tried to go toe-to-toe with Barcelona football-wise and they get destroyed. And I still expect them to come out and not as much in their face, but I expect them to have a hell of a lot of the ball on Tuesday night. A vast majority of the play on the ball, and that might actually work into well for us because of the way we've set up in the past. You don't think so?
I will hit them in the break if they're because they're not that experienced at this level themselves for a large part. So what possession level did they have against Barca? And the Milan game, have they been having like 50-50?
No. As I said to you, but what I'd call they try to play fit, but there was no, we're going to hold this deep, we're going to counter attack. It was a case of our football will match your football, and it was quite ridiculous at times. There was a point, I think Messi scored the hat trick, but Messi, his third goal, he had the whole half, like in the Ajax half, he had half of the pitch himself. He was just running at people.
Right.
And you're thinking, if you're going to keep Messi that amount of space, you're killing yourselves. You know what I mean? So I certainly think they've got confidence in themselves, but I just think the wee counter attack. Maybe there was an allegation last year when I watched them that they overpass, and this is a big game, and ultimately it comes down to take our chances. We've got to take our chances, John. And
Let's score a goal.
Well,
Barca
almost overpassed against it at Parkhead. The Barca game was bloody pish to watch, man. I was bored for large parts of it. And Celtic coped really well with it, so if Ajax come and try and overpass, then I think we'll win. I don't know, I think they may adapt their game for us, but I hope they do try and overpass the ball, because I think if we can nearly get something at Barca with 10 men, then we can beat Ajax.
And that's that. That's. But we've got to be in it to win it, don't we? We've got to give it a go. Thing to say we don't, or say we don't get that wee bit of luck in or whatever, and we don't take our chances. Is that us done? If we don't win?
Aye, definitely, 100%.
Bottom of the group.
Yep.
Nice next two games. I mean, there's nothing to say we can't get I don't know, maybe stretching a little bit, but there's nothing to say we can't get a result out there. We can still keep getting a result there as well. To me, we need 3 points at least out of the two games. If we get, hopefully Barcelona. I know they never really done as much of a turn last year, but that Benfica game, they were absolutely appalling.
Aye.
But if they can, hopefully have that attitude when they play us in the last game.
That's it. It's set up. It's actually set up for us, really, isn't it? It's set up for us to go and take it.
Well, if
you don't win, sorry, on you go, Paul.
Well, I'm just going to say, Ajax have got 1 point. If Milan can lose, they're in what, 3, 4? How many are they on? 4. They're in 4.
Mm-hmm.
We're in 0. So if we can get up to 3, Ajax gain 1, we get something in. Even if we don't get something in Ajax and they beat us, they go to 4. We're in 3. Milan are in 4, and it all comes down to us against Milan at home. If we can get a result against Milan at home, then So that's what you're looking at. You're kind of hoping we take 4 points and leave Ajax kind of drifting 1 point, and we've got Milan at home just needing a draw to finish at least third. But I've done this thing before in Champions League groups and tried to work it out. It doesn't always pan out, does it? But if we can get ourselves in a position where we've got Milan at home and need a draw to be guaranteed third, then I think
I'll be buying.
It'd
be a good place to be.
Barca going to Ajax, and the last game, remember, Milan are playing Ajax, so the two of them are going to cut one another's throat. So we can get ourselves in a position where we're a couple of points in front of Ajax, get into that last game, then we're in your shout,
Psychologically, Tuesday's massive. We win, our tails are up going area. We don't win, we draw or get beat, then they're going to have the crowd behind them at their home game, their tails up. So they're going to come flying out of traps. So Tuesday's massive in that respect. You need to drill that hole into the players before the game.
Aye. The pressure's on us, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? You'd rather have the pressure than no pressure at all.
Well, the pressure in the Carragandi game, they cope with that.
So hopefully they can
produce the same thing.
So I think that was pretty good. I think we'll wrap that up. That was just over an hour. So, Johnny, thanks for coming on tonight, pal.
Cheers, mate. Enjoyed it.
Paul, thanks for coming on, mate. And I hope this is not your last time on the podcast.
If you're stuck, give me a shout.
I think we're going to be stuck next week, big man.
Okay.
Need to get you off on a rant, Paul.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for that. I really, really appreciate it. All the best.
Good man. See you later.
Well, that's it. Comeback's finished. As with all our pods, we love to hear your feedback. It's our intention to get more pods done as the season goes on, so if you want to hear more from us, you can hit us up on Twitter, it's @TemporaryStand. You can email us direct at temporarystand@hailhailmedia.com, and you can get us on the usual message boards. On tonight's show we had Johnny. You can follow him on Twitter, his handle is @JohnnyForbes. You had Paul, he is @HPaul O'Donnell, and then there's myself, and that's @Scott McCorry. Some tremendous stuff on Hail Hail Media this winter, and we hope you'd all still download all the various Celtic pods that are out there. So that's us for the night, so cheers for downloading. Keep with faith, hail hail, and come on the hoops on Tuesday.